Hey, welcome everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, and we're going to replay a 1990 game, Mets in Pittsburgh. In 1990, the Mets ended the season 4 games out behind the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I decided to play all the games that Pittsburgh and the Mets played in the month of September and October for 1990. Now, I want to talk a little bit about History Maker Baseball. It's not a game that gets a lot of airplay out there because it's kind of a little bit unique in its approach to representing baseball on a tabletop. And I'll let you see that it's more based on longer narrative, there are more words involved, and so on and so forth on the dice results and on the number results. So it is based on stats and data and dice rolls and percentages and all that, but it's not interpreted through numbers or result or driven communicated by numbers. It's more communicated by language. So I don't know. That's one way of representing this game. So let me talk about this game because this is a very popular company. It produces lots of different games. It has created a basketball game recently, and and that kind of looks like fun. It's got a football game that guys love. It's got hockey. It's got golf. RJL plays golf on his channel. So there's a lot going on with History Maker Baseball. The Play.com site and their game company. But they also created, of course, my favorite game, the only one I play that they produce, History Maker Baseball. Now you got I think it's called Team America, where they have fictitious players. You can also get involved in that if that's your thing. But when I first bought this game, the box that it came in was extremely thin and flimsy. Visualize maybe a thin card, maybe a 60-pound card folded. It's almost like the cheapest Christmas present box that you can buy that you kind of fold. Well, that's what it was made out of. And some people mention that, and soon thereafter they came out with something much more sturdy, much thicker. You can hear the difference. I got rid of my old box, but this is much nicer. But it's a short box. It's like a 2-inch box, I guess, 2 or 3-inch box. All right. It's a thin box, and this is where all the stuff, and I reemphasize stuff, comes. And I really like the design of this box. It's thin. It's easy. It's almost like the size of a book. So it's easy to store. You can store it in your bookshelf. And it comes with all the necessary components. And the one thing that is cool about this game that I think the designer understands, that we're kids at heart and we like to receive stuff. We like to get stuff in our box. The more stuff and the more colors, and the cooler it is and the more excited we get about it, right? So let's go over some of the things some of the components associated with History Maker Baseball. First off, you get all these cards that are basically manager cards. Manager influence, bunt attempt, video replay challenge. There's a lot of cool things that you can do with this game. This is like a real kind of almost a popular style baseball game where it's really ultimately not to feed the crazed, kind of obsessive drive of our standard, our lifelong gamer. But this is more like a lighthearted approach to where you want to reproduce baseball. You want to keep it true to statistics and stats and abilities and all that. And great fielders are great fielders. Great home run hitters are great home run hitters. Great pitchers are great pitchers. Great strikeout relievers are great strikeout relievers. But at the same time, you really want to focus and emphasize the fun aspect of it. So you get these very cool cards that you kind of put in your pocket. Each coach has these, and they can use, I don't know what the rule is, I've never used them, 1 or 2 or 3 cards as the game goes on. to influence the game. All right. Now you have these charts, right? You have Clubhouse Mood and Stormy. So this you kind of recreate the day-to-day ins and outs of playing on a baseball team. So Clubhouse Mood, you have Sunny, team trainer, front office, local media, and stuff like, okay, a perk with the starting pitcher, or a perk with the starter non-pitcher, a perk with a relief pitcher. Then it tells you the player, which starter, infielder, minor perk. So this kind of is going to influence the temperament of your team, and this will translate into making great plays or not making great plays, and so on. So you have sunny and a stormy mood for your team, and then you have, I have kind of two of everything. I don't know, they sent me some stuff, so I got two of everything. Here you have game day weather effects, game day injuries. You can kind of roll, and you're going to get game day effects, weather effects, or game day injuries. And then this is where you lay down. These are the mats where you lay down your cards. Okay, it has a lot of cool colors, has a lot of cool little caricatures or cartoons of players. You have your bunts section, your hit and run section, your extra base attempt, your stolen base attempt. Then it has your ground out with base running, infield playing in results, batters and pitchers right now. You get some more information for the game, and so on and so forth. And this is where you lay your umpires. Now the umpires go here, and that's one thing that there's a lot to this game. You have your ballpark card, tells you that's going to have an effect, and you can have all your umpires. Now I'm playing a 1990 game. I don't have the 1990 umpire set, so what I did was I just pulled out a 1991 set of umpires, and that's close enough. So you get the umpire sets, you get the ballpark sets, you get your ball players, of course, your team. Now, it doesn't come with every player. It does have extra players, right? You picked your pitchers. Today it's going to be Frank Viola versus Zane Smith. All right, so you set all that up like that. Now, like I was saying, you get plenty of players. You just don't get every player. So if you're trying to do an actual, a replay with actual players, and you want the John Smith, the great thing about this game is that it's super easy to make up players, make any player you want. It doesn't take more than a couple of minutes. You look at his stats, and you get this guide. This guide is like, I think $9 now. I think when I bought it was like $7. It's just 3 or 4 papers, but it's going to give you all the information you need. It's called a History Maker Guide, how-to guide, and it'll teach you what to do and how to set up a quick player, whether it be a pitcher or whether it be a batter or fielder, whatever you want to do. So that's really cool about this game. You can kind of I created my son's high school baseball team, and the last team, they went to the playoffs in his last season as a senior, and I recreated the opposing team. So later on someday, he may want to replay that. Who knows? But I have that recreated. So you can recreate anything you want. Just get some stats. And all right, now these are the rules, right? These are rules. Now, not real. These are really like just pretty basic. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. It's well written, believe it or not. It's easy to understand. There's a lot to this game. It's detailed, so it's got everything that a real baseball game, that your standard tabletop baseball game will have, all the different effects and some nuances, some additional nuances. So this is well done. It's well written. It's easy to understand. It's logical. It's set up logically. It's easy to find stuff. So above average rules. But this is a very kind of intuitive game. You're not going to have to be reading a lot of rules. There's a couple of things that I struggle to remember, but I kind of improvise them, and the game still plays well. All right, now the best part for me of this game, and I think the highest quality of all the items, and most items are extremely high quality, as you can see. Dice, you get 4 dice, and you get a decider die. This is critical. It's just 3 sides with a bullet and 3 sides without. This is the book that I think is extremely well thought out, well planned out, well designed, and very, very colorful and attractive. Okay, I would, if I was, a young man, I would probably ask this book out for a stroll in the park at midnight. History Maker Baseball Game Action Booklet 5.0. I think this is the last one they came out with. I bought this one. Pitching, hitting, and fielding. It's very nicely kind of graphically represented, very professionally done, very clear and concise. It's got a lot of different opportunities for results. No 2 games will ever be the same. Here you have all different columns of, this is your basic 2 pages. This is your pages 4 and 5. This is where your book normally rests 90% of the time. So you won't have to, most of the time the book is going to rest right here on these 2 pages. Okay, but then other things can happen, and you can have a team chemistry effect, a baseball right now effect. Is the player hot or cold? Player experience, is he a rookie or a veteran? Then you have the fence chart, you have the glove chart, gold glovers make amazing catches. Then you have the official score gets involved. It goes on. So now you have the umpire, the ballpark qualities, you have the umpire calls. That's why you have the umpires on the chart. All right, so this is a very cool book. And then, of course, you have your unusual, your highlight, they call it highlight reels. I mean, the guy is fairly ingenious. Do I always get along with him 100%? Not really. He's a little stubborn, but ultimately he's a smart guy. So ultimately he comes around. And highlight reel B, highlight reel C, highlight reel D. So really things that maybe have never happened to me, and I've been playing this for a few years on and off. Not everything happens. Highlight reel X, very rare events. So those things generally don't happen. Highlight reel Y, very rare events. Highlight reel Z, generational events. Just really well thought out, well planned, very creative. Great pieces to this, great components, fun components to this game. And I think I've gone over everything. I just want to get a game started here, and I will reach out. There's a very active Delphi group and a very active Facebook group, play.com, and History Maker Baseball is part of that. And I'm going to reach out to them, see if I can get somebody to send me a PDF of the 1990 umpires, because I don't know what happened to them. And not only that, I have ordered, which I will do an unboxing of some very cool cards. Now, the one real criticism that I have of this game is the simplicity of the card. I feel that it's for a game that has so much personality, so much color and charisma. I believe that all of a sudden you get to the card and it's blah. In other words, this game is really meant to represent a simplicity of a tabletop baseball game. It's modeled after being able to create players from baseball cards. Let's look at a baseball card. Okay, here's Steve McCaddy from one of my replays. But look at how cool this is. Yet, and of course, the explanation is that it's not profitable to put tremendous effort into the cards. I get it. All right, but I really believe that putting more effort into this card would elevate this game to another level. But maybe I'm wrong. But so what did I suggest? I suggested you put out you basically commission a couple of guys that I know do amazing cards to put out a couple of sets of cards, just as a test, just to see how it goes, what happens. That's all. And if it goes well, those guys are going to make money. They do it anyway for themselves, for fun. So just get a couple of those teams, do great teams, do World Series teams, even though you have that already, but you can do great teams from the past. You can do anything like that, just a set that will serve as an experiment, as a test to see how it sells. So that's really my only critique of this game. Beyond that, it's just a fun game to play. I highly recommend this game. The price point is, I think it's right for what it offers. It's a little cheaper than, card sets from other games. But of course, those card sets are maybe a larger paper, they use up more ink and so on. These cards are super tiny. All right, now another thing I buy with these cards are these little envelopes or sleeves, if you will, so I can slide these some of the cards in there, depending. Sometimes I'll do that if I play a lot with them. I'll use these sleeves and pop the guys into the sleeves. Yeah, I also have some small envelopes that I can use for the teams, right? And I'll show you an example of those, like the 1999. This was a set I bought a couple of years ago on Christmas. Again, the cards were real simple, nothing special. So, I wish they had done this set in like a real vibrant kind of, with some colors, with some borders, with some designs. It was a specialty set, so make it special. See how it goes. You're taking a shot at it. And I think it's going to really bump up sales for sure, and it's going to get more guys, to try out the game if you have that. That's my perspective. All right. So this was a 17-minute, it's going to be 18 minutes now, presentation of the ins and outs of the game. The next thing I want to do is play at least 3 innings to show you how it plays, but I want to do it on a separate video. So I'm going to put this out, and I will be back, and tune in, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get alerted, and like, because that inspires you to do more content, and reach out to me and tell me what you'd like to see. I will play a close-up 3 innings of this game to show you exactly how it plays. I will show you the simple format of this game, the way I started playing it without too many complications. And then you judge for yourself if you would like to try this game, if it's a game for you. I enjoy the game. It's a fun game. And that's it. This is Tony Porter. This is Cards and Dice. This is a close-up look at History Maker Baseball. And I'll talk to you guys soon.